Hi guys, welcome back to episode 3 of the Parking Lot
podcast. We're back here after a very long time. Wait a minute. You might be wondering where we've been for the past 25 days, right? Well, you see, I was recruited by the government to be part of this elite team of superheroes that could protect the world from
Oh
aliens.
my god,
and
no, Mutash, shut up. Let's just continue with the episode.
We're here with...
A very special guest today, so we're just going to let him introduce himself to you guys. So, on to you, sir.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I teach them at the university.
Yeah, he's our teacher actually.
Yeah, we brought a teacher to our podcast because
Yeah.
why not? Inclusion.
Inclusion. So, episode 3. Oh man, it's been so long.
It's
no?
been so long, but
Yeah.
we're back and this episode's going to be really fun. So, stay tuned till the end.
And
Okay.
informative.
Informative. Let's go. So, sir, we'll begin our episode with you telling our viewers a little bit about yourself, your qualifications, your background, and what you do currently.
Okay, so currently I teach in. I didn't say that.
We'll okay.
Okay,
Oh.
fine. I teach at a university,
Okay.
and I have a PhD in English.
Mhm.
I studied in Hyderabad mainly.
Oh, okay.
And I worked here for 3 years almost now, 2.5 years. And I've taught them in between this.
Yeah. Is this your first teaching job or?
This is my first teaching job.
Okay.
I completed my PhD, I submitted my thesis and came and joined here. I didn't know anything about this place. I just came and joined here. Now, I think it's high time I should leave also. I think that is
Now
something
we
I should say.
definitely cannot
No.
mention the university's name. Yeah. Oh man, I hope the management doesn't see this
No,
podcast.
that's okay. That's okay. Even they know it.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
Okay.
Sir, how was the whole PhD experience like? Because when we hear degree names like PhD, we're like, oh my god, PhD. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Okay, PhD is very interesting. Let me start with that. It's very interesting because it can go in two different ways. One is just like you guys have a class, you go sit there, study as a group, you have fun. It might be boring, but you have that, a group to
Yeah.
mingle with.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
PhD, it's exactly the opposite of it. You are alone and you have a supervisor. You'll be talking to that supervisor for the next 5 years, say.
Oh, it's like a mentor-mentee thing.
Yes, it is almost like
One to
that.
one.
Yes, and there is no fixed syllabus. There is no fixed anything.
So
It's something you should create at the end of the 5 year. fifth
So you're
year.
just tailing that one person and
Yes, so
learning
we
from
have
them.
some ideas. That person will be mentoring you regarding your work.
Okay.
So it can go very bad also because if the mentor is not good, many people go into therapy also.
I'm assuming you didn't go to therapy.
No, I didn't go to therapy. Fortunately, I didn't have to go to
You lucked
therapy.
out.
Yes, I was the lucky.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what was your thesis paper about?
I have something called post-human theory,
Okay.
post-humanism it's called. So I've been working on that. That is my area.
Could you briefly tell us what
Just
it's
You
about?
want me to?
Just two lines on what it's about.
Okay,
I'm curious.
it's about this idea of humanism. Humanism is basically where everything is human-centered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I think now things are slowly changing.
Mhm.
Let's take AI as an example.
Yeah. Okay.
With AI coming into picture, is everything actually human-centered? That is one
Is-
question arising,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
The second main question is, what is human? That question, because this
that's
idea
a
of
good
you
one.
started with saying about diversity. Again, the problem there is, so yeah, so like when you say who is human, like the definition of the human, does it fit everyone?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right. So
Correct.
usually it's a white male, able-bodied male.
Yeah.
There are some tags you give not exactly.
Sir said not exactly too white. Anyway.
Yeah. So how does that definition actually include everyone else?
Okay.
So that is where this idea of post-humanism comes, and how does that change things? So this is the basic definition, I guess.
So you brought up the concept of AI coming up and it being human-centric or not. So I'd really like to know both of your views on how AI versus human, and what do you think our future is going to look like, and do you think it's a good move stepping forward with
I personally feel it's inevitable.
it's inevitable?
Yeah,
Okay.
we are moving forward as a society, and we have reached a point where these things are not you cannot stop these things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can say that okay, let's use AI for only these things.
Correct.
That's not how things works, especially in this world where everything is, it's a capitalist world.
Capitalist world.
Everything is profit oriented. So whatever gives you, generates you more profit, people will go for it. So
I think
Yeah.
feels like if AI actually gets bustling and booming, then feels like your humanities and your art will actually face a little decline, don't you think? Because you can generate a beautiful picture with AI in like 2 minutes.
Even literature and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
You
I
can-
could ask ChatGPT right now to write me a poem. So it
you know
feels-
what has happened? AI has written a book already. People use AI as co-authors to
Okay.
publish things,
Okay.
and it's
And
not
those
that
are,
popular as of now because world is still conservative.
Yeah.
Technology is developing, but the world stays conservative. So people are like, okay, this is not acceptable.
Okay.
But it's inevitable. At some point, it will be
will.
acceptable.
Stuff like
So
that.
this semester, I got this chance to design a course.
Uh-huh.
Till now, I was teaching
Mhm.
courses designed by others. So we included a topic on prompt engineering.
Okay.
I'm not an expert in that,
Okay.
but I just wanted to include that because I wanted to see how students use that, because they just use it in a way just to write assignments.
Yeah.
Most of
You know what we did? What?
email writing.
What? Email writing.
You were like,
He's embarrassed to say he just looks away. He said
He
he
looks
just
away.
mumble. You know what I mean?
you know,
You know what? You guys don't know what happens
behind the
behind,
scene.
right?
Yeah.
So we are actually, embarrassed to come forward and teach these things. Sometimes when you walk into a class, you feel like I'm going to do that. I'm going to teach these things, and I'm going to make them do certain things for the next 2 hours, and they'll be looking at me thinking, why are you doing this? And I don't really have an answer. So this is something every teacher goes through.
See, this is what I wanted to happen. This is what I wanted to be discussed, because we blame the teachers
Yeah.
for teaching something boring. We're like, this is so
You
useless.
can blame the
Yeah.
teachers to a certain extent,
Yeah.
but there are multiple things.
Yeah, behind.
Sir,
it.
I'm sure I've looked at you like that when you were teaching email writing, report writing.
I know. I can see your faces, right?
Yeah.
I know that.
You just have to do it.
Yeah, like-
At some point you'll have to do it.
So your what are your thoughts on this education system that we have
Currently,
So,
like
clearly?
see,
yeah.
especially with respect to student entrepreneurs and student ideas, how do you think people, like
you
the
think-
adults or
yeah.
teachers or people your age,
Do you think they're
do you take us
given
seriously?
are they liberal towards creativity?
Like, are we taken seriously from
Yeah.
your point of view? Is my
Okay,
question.
I'm not sure if I'm the right person to say this, but I'll say what
Say it
I
regardless.
feel.
Yeah.
So I do not belong in this particular field as in, for example, our university, because I come from a literature background and I do not teach or I do not do anything regarding literature here. It's all about communication, everything, right? So that is not something that so the kind of teachers I interact with here from other departments, the mindset is a bit different.
In what way, sir? Like,
And it's not just about the age, like it's also about the attitude, because what I felt is many teachers feel that they should mold the next generation,
Okay.
right? So this idea of molding someone and guiding someone are very different.
oh, dude.
See,
Correct.
when I try to mold someone, the problem is I have a fixed image or a fixed,
Shape you want
criteria.
to put us in.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you guys are from a different generation. You have your experiences are completely different from what I have experienced.
Correct.
So I felt that okay, I have fought against the previous generation, and I have come up with something new. But I then at that point, some of them forget that you guys have done the same thing, and you have come forward. So I should let you do your thing.
Okay.
Right. So
Right,
that doesn't happen in many cases. I see people do their PhD, they do their masters, everything. They were students. Then the moment they join teaching field, they feel like okay, they are responsible for a lot of things,
Okay.
which they are not actually.
Mhm.
There are certain things you should be responsible for,
Correct.
but it is not just about a teacher just like I said, molding the whole future of a
Correct.
generation.
Correct.
That's not the job.
So
that is,
I think we've put like a burden on the teachers, giving
You
them the
think-
idea that
you haven't.
they've put them on themselves. In a way,
Think
like
about it. It's more about the society.
society.
Because we do not this idea of Mata Pita Guru Devam.
Correct.
You do not see that anywhere else in the world,
Except yeah.
right?
Correct,
So
correct.
you are putting this idea in everyone's head that okay, teacher is supposed to do all this. It is something very close to divine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's just another profession.
Correct.
If you are really good at doing that profession, it's fine. That's all is required.
So I gotta ask. You said you come from a literature background,
Yeah.
but you're not doing that here. Does that bother you?
Oh yeah.
It does.
Oh yeah. That's why I started by saying it's high time I leave.
Yeah. So you want to pursue something that's completely based on what your passion is.
Yes, because see, I have never got a chance to teach something that's my domain. That's in my domain.
Okay.
So the closest I have come to is critical thinking. That is like A, B, C, D of our area. Okay.
Correct.
That's where everything starts. In the first class of BA English, maybe people would be talking that for the first hour. That's it.
Correct.
Right. So so when you see me teach that portion, I hope you find a difference in the
okay.
way I teach or the you know
Passion.
passion enthusiasm I have.
Yeah.
It comes automatically.
Yeah.
Sir, but like from the societal aspect of India, I feel like literature or pursuing literary fields is looked
It's
down
very
upon.
overlooked. Yeah.
It's like
It's not in just India because see, I am someone who completed my PhD. I'm applying or I'm trying to apply for something called postdoc,
Yeah.
postdoctoral studies.
yeah.
Right. So there is no funding for humanities at all.
At all?
No, it's negligible. If there are certain, if it is somewhere interdisciplinary, yes.
Okay. Because the first time we had Sir as a teacher, I think it was very easy for us
Yeah.
to connect.
And like I was
And-
like finally.
Yeah, and like
someone
we
did-
are like the STEM background, right? So English classes is usually treated like time pass. But then with Sir, we were like, it was like fun for us. You made it like
Your
engaging.
class was a good bunch because I've interacted a lot with you
Yeah.
guys. Like apart from the teaching part, apart from email writing, you know,
Sir has dealt with Mutaz and I constantly fighting in class over topics.
it was fun. Actually,
Yeah.
that is the fun part
So
of
much
teaching.
fun.
I love that part.
I won, by the way.
She did not.
So do you remember this one argument we had where the whole class was like, you know,
It was basically something dashed the bridge. She said on the bridge. I said
over
across
the bridge,
no,
something like that.
No,
Some
it was-
preposition
yeah.
quiz.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we both got so involved into it, and Sir is there just like,
Yes.
He took her aside, by the way.
that's because
I
I was
did.
right. You
No,
did,
I-
Sir. I was right. I was obviously right. So,
She was not. I'm never letting.
Sir, but then was the dream always to be a teacher, or did it
no.
just?
What was young
Sir,
Shalin's
I
dream?
ask everyone who comes on the show who's like a little significantly older to us,
Okay.
how do you find what you want to do?
And like,
Okay,
what was
so
your-
that story, if I narrate that story, that would be very demotivating. So is that
We
okay?
want to know. Sir.
Okay, fine.
Fine.
But like,
It's
you're,
raw.
you're in
See,
a,
I'm a very lazy person. Let's start from there. So
Relatable, sir.
I after my 10th I realized that I'm very bad at maths or science. I'm very bad at grasping things that is more science related.
Same, sir.
But for humanities and social sciences it was very easy for me. I didn't have to, because it's almost like a story, right?
Correct.
yeah.
Everything is narration based.
Correct, sir.
Right, so it was very easy for me to learn those things. That was one part of it. Then 12th I took humanities, so it was very easy for me. Then I understood, okay, language is something I'm good at, writing is something I'm good at, so let me do that.
I
so-
gotta interrupt you for 1 second. So when you took humanities in 12th and all, like your family, were they very supportive of it, or?
my father was very supportive. My mother was also supportive, but she always has this thing of that, you know, where they say if it was science, oh, that
Engineer
guy,
or doctor.
your friend took science.
Okay.
That thing is
Correct.
there always.
Okay, so it's
But
not
she-
just for our generation, guys. It's for them as well.
It's always there.
Okay.
Took BA English. After that, then it was very easy. But after BA English, I didn't want to go for a job. I took masters. I went for masters. After master's, still I didn't want to go for a job. So
May I ask
That
why,
was-
sir?
laziness, I guess.
So the better option was to just study more.
It was fun, right? See,
The
I don't
student
think you guys
experience.
realize how good it is to be inside a college being a student. Once you come out of it, you realize the world sucks. It's very bad. Now, I'm not being negative,
Yeah.
but everything
Reality,
becomes
it's a reality check.
Reality
Yeah.
check, sir.
everything becomes very serious.
Oh, wow.
Right, so I went for, I thought, okay, and I had at that time there were some exams also like that I cleared, for example, like this net and all. So I thought, okay, anyway I'm moving in this area, let me see how it goes. And research is something that interested me at that point.
Mhm.
I didn't know whether I'm capable of doing it,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not saying I was a good student, but the idea of a good student being a good researcher is false. It
yeah.
never happens. It's entirely different. I was not a good student. I was a very mediocre student. So I thought, okay, let me try.
Mm-hmm.
I tried and it kind of worked. And also I got a really good supervisor.
Okay.
That
He-
lucked out.
yes, that happened. So then everything was very smooth. And I made a very, very nice gang of friends inside there. Everything was very smooth.
Mhm.
So it was like one thing after the other. It
Yes,
just went.
it was.
So
There was not many hurdles for me.
you went with the flow.
Went with the flow.
Okay.
After my PhD, okay, let me try teaching. There were some other options also, like I can go into like editing, all those are
Okay.
there. But I felt, okay, let me try it once. Let me go to a class once, teach, let me see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
After that, there was no looking back, because I understood once I started doing it, yes, this is what I want.
For you.
Yeah.
Was it just a feeling that came to you one day where you're like, okay, I enjoy
You know,
doing this.
the
I'm
first
doing this.
semester, I'm the first class, like this phase class and all. When I was walking to that class, I was questioning myself throughout.
Okay.
Why am I doing this? I am not good at talking to people,
Mhm.
and I chose a profession where I'll have to do this continuously throughout the
Entire course. Yeah.
yes. So but then I started teaching, I started interacting with students. It was a different experience. I go to each class, it is a completely different experience. You do not get that in lot of other professions.
Mhm.
You
It
like
is
the
very
spontaneity.
monotonous.
sir.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You do not know, or you don't know what to expect.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah.
that is something. And also it is always 60 different people, 60 different characters, and you get to interact with them.
Each unique.
Correct.
Yes, it's very unique. That is something that, you know,
And I really like the fact where you openly said that you were continuously questioning yourself, because I think I speak on behalf of most of the students watching this. As students, usually when we see a teacher, we tend to forget they're sort of human.
We think they're like well-oiled machines who
Yeah.
are like
They're
only-
here, we
yeah.
just have to sit,
they'll come,
they will
they'll
do.
teach. We just have to sit and listen.
We sort of dehumanize them a bit, like
Yeah.
they don't have a life apart
Okay.
from this, they're just here to teach.
Like
and then,
honestly, for the better part of my life, most of it, when I saw my teacher outside of school, it
It's
was
so
so
weird.
weird.
It's
Like
so
they
weird.
have a life, they're doing something. Yeah.
this happens to everyone, I think,
Yeah.
because during my masters also, there was one professor who's very strict.
Uh-huh.
You know, very strict that you fear to just go and talk to this guy. And after we completed our masters, we as a group met him outside. We were going for tea or something. We met him outside. This guy was so warm. He invited us home, everything. We didn't go to his house, but that guy was so warm. We felt like if we knew you were like this, we wouldn't be, you know.
no, it's like from a student point of view as well, sir. It's really nice to have teachers that will genuinely like put stuff aside and just try to talk to you first and then put the subject in you, because I think that will help the subject as well in a lot of ways for us to grasp it.
And for you, who was that one teacher that changed your life? Like, did you have a teacher like that who like helped you a lot? Like that one
There
teacher that
were
stuck with you?
Multiple. This, I think it didn't happen till my undergrad studies.
Okay.
Till there, it was all, like I said, I think I mentioned I was a very mediocre
Yeah.
student, because I never connected with the subject or with the faculties or
Correct.
with the subject being taught or anything. But when I joined for my this BA course, it was completely different. because it was a government college.
Yeah.
So there the atmosphere is completely different,
Correct.
and the faculties interact with you in a way that it's almost like a
Business meeting.
no, it is like a casual conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, classes are like that. They just come sit with you, and in my class there were like 18 students or something. They just come sit with you. It is almost like a discussion that goes on every class. So there were people who motivated me. Okay, this I never knew a teacher could be like this.
Correct.
Right.
Sir.
So
yeah.
there were people, and they motivated me to apply. You go to Hyderabad, there you go join this university, and those things changed my life. Right. So that is where that is how this idea of a teacher can change your life plays out.
Yeah.
It's not like I dump you with a lot of information and that information changes you. It's like how they help you or they guide you to become a better.
It's definitely true, sir. It's like that one teacher sees something in you that no one else did, and they point it out to you.
Yeah.
And when they point it out to you, you're like, oh, that was already there.
Yes.
And you just needed someone to point it out to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is something that helped me a lot.
So I've had so many instances where we're just randomly in malls or somewhere, and some student finds her and comes up to her, and then she goes like, I've literally heard one student tell, you changed my life, ma'am. This is why I am the way I am.
See, she's very lucky. I
And
guess.
my mom is, I've never seen her so satisfied with her job, because I keep asking her, Mama, why do you work? Because I think I would like her to retire, but she's like, no, this is something I do for myself. It's a sense of giving back to the society. So that's when I was like, okay, teaching is actually really noble if you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do take feedbacks from students.
Yeah,
okay?
you do, sir.
And the point of taking feedback is not exactly to see 50 sheets of people saying, sir, you are super. That doesn't really make much difference. Okay, but it's always that maybe one or two comments, maybe it's those criticisms that I could see. There'll be at least one or two in every class where there'll be a very good they'll constructively criticize you.
Oh, that's
Those
good.
things happen.
Yeah.
If I could get at least one out of that from maybe 360 students in a semester, that actually helps me a lot, because I am learning. When you said like teachers are like a machine. I think I'm a machine which learns,
Keeps learning.
because I'll have to do that. I feel that some people stop doing that, but I genuinely hope I don't do that. I don't stop.
Another thing about why I think most of us don't give negative feedback is because we're afraid of how the teachers take it. Like,
Yes.
there's that sort of wall you can't really break. I don't know if it's
there
the
is any
age.
student watching, I do not take it negatively. I ask you for it, right? So that is again, that is a problem. I understand that. Like many people would take it very personally, and they'll say
Reflect
that
it
I'll
on
cut your
other
marks
things,
for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I don't know why that happens. Sir. Like, is it because of the age or because of our education system? You've said we've
Ego.
Ego,
Yeah.
I
Ego?
guess, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Ego.
ego, right?
It's like maybe in their mind, it's like I've done this for the past 10 years.
How
Why
can,
you teach me now?
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
I can do it again for the next 10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you are doing it for 10 different kinds of generations
Generations,
that
that's-
people
Exactly.
forget.
I really like what you said about molding and guiding, sir. I
Yeah.
think that's gonna stick with me.
Yeah.
That's
That-
Also,
definitely
I
gonna
don't
stick with
Yeah.
me.
I don't think we've grasped the love for literature part. Like,
Yeah.
when did you think literature is my thing?
No, so
Yeah, for you,
just
like-
interrupting you for a second there.
Yeah.
Is your love for literature something relatable to the Dead Poets Society? If you've watched that movie?
I haven't.
Oh my god, sir!
no!
Sir, come on!
Okay,
Robin
yes.
Williams.
I think I've got you at the right place. That is good. The reaction is good. You asked me about my love for literature, right?
Yeah.
I do not love literature the way people think any literature student would love literature. Okay, that is, it's not just me.
Okay.
Many
Many.
are like that.
So you think
it
it's
is
like
very
stereotypical?
selective. Yeah, it is like you think, or many people think that a literature student will be always with a book. They'll be reading whatever they get to read. That
You'll be
doesn't
sitting on a
happen.
tree with a pencil
Yes,
near your ear
it's a
and
very
just-
romanticized image,
Yeah.
which is not true.
Okay.
I do not do that. I am a very selective reader.
Okay.
And I have certain areas that I read. I watch movies also.
Like?
In a
What's
very,
your genre?
it's mostly science fiction related.
Oh,
Let's go.
So it is something that you develop, especially when you start doing your masters or post masters, because there you know, you become very narrow. You narrow down your field.
okay.
You start with a wider perspective or a wider view about literature. As we go on, we try to narrow it down to maybe 1 or 2 texts.
Okay.
Okay, we have to narrow it down that much.
Okay.
So even our areas and the likes we have is very different. So again, there the problem with this is, do you guys read?
Yes, sir. I read. I
guys
read a
read?
lot. I'm mostly into self-help books, fiction. I think Jeffrey Archer, that fiction was
Okay.
there.
My stuff I read is very. I don't think I gotta ask this. Oh yeah, I read manga, Japanese
Oh, I
anime
like,
novels.
animes and-
Do you think
Oh,
you do?
you do,
Let's
sir.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh.
So do you consider that literature, right?
Of course, I
It's
do.
peak literature. What
Yeah,
do you mean?
Actually, I'm planning
Yeah.
to work on a paper on One Piece.
Oh,
Sir, that is so
let's
cool.
go.
Please.
Let's go. Because I thought like you would look down on it. Not
No,
you
no.
particularly. Like people would just say, "Hey, that's not literature."
That,
you're just
that is
reading
there.
cartoon."
That is
Yeah.
there. This idea of high and low
Yeah.
literature is there.
Yeah.
But I think the society or the
Yeah.
community itself is moving away from that.
Mhm.
Idea of
Literature
high
is
and-
literature.
Yes, anything is literature. Movie is a literature. Anything is a text, right? We are
Correct,
coming to
correct,
this
sir.
point there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love those things. I am planning to work on a paper on this idea of Asian maritime and
Let's go.
One Piece. I am working on it, since still making the framework. Not
That's
sure
great.
it will
That's
work,
great.
but if it works, I'll.
That's
write
so
a
cool.
paper.
Yeah.
That's so cool. We can flex. Sir, our
Exactly.
teacher wrote One Piece paper.
If I write, if it gets published, I'll definitely share.
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
I gotta ask. Obviously, you have to ask someone who's in the field of literature.
Yeah.
Top 3 authors for you.
Top 3 authors for me.
Yeah.
It may not be the author as such. It may be
Their
certain
work.
books.
The book.
okay.
Yeah, top 3 books.
Still works.
Okay.
Top 3 books then.
I think one of the books that influenced me a lot was Randamuzham. It's a Malayalam book.
Okay.
Okay, that is something that I hold dear to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've read a lot, and I think I give this example a lot of Robinson Crusoe.
Okay.
That book,
Uh-huh.
because that book changed me in a very different way.
Mm-hmm.
The way I see literature changed
Correct.
because of that book. Because this character Robinson Crusoe was my idol for a long period of time. Then when I started learning literature, when I started learning theories, I understood that okay, this guy was just another colonizer.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
Yeah.
it was a revelation, it revealed a lot of things to me
Mm-hmm.
about
Okay.
literature, about what I am getting into.
Correct. Sir.
Right, that is another one. What else? I am a big fan of Sherlock Holmes, so maybe.
Oh yes, sir.
because-
I have the original versions.
Okay.
I'm such a big Sherlock Holmes geek. I can name you the entire plot twists in every episode with the place name.
Okay.
Sir, my phone wallpaper was his door 221B for so long.
I was briefly into Sherlock Holmes when I was like 11 or 12. I dressed up as Sherlock Holmes for World Literary Day. We used to celebrate that in school. I dressed up as Sherlock Holmes. I took the books. I was like very big into it, but only for a brief period. Yeah.
I feel like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle,
Yeah.
his writing style is really nice.
Yes.
Like especially if you read the original Sherlock Holmes scriptures, though he sort of like describes everything. You feel like you're in the world there.
I started reading all those in Malayalam, in my native language. Then I switched to these things. So I am more into those fields, like Harry Potter, another example. People would feel like, okay, it's children's literature, right? But when you start reading it, when you
Hardly.
start analyzing it, you feel like there is always more to it.
There's definitely a lot more to it.
Yeah, so I think in my area is more about that. There are many other authors also, like
Correct.
Margaret Atwood is there. There are authors like that. That is one of the authors that I took for my thesis also. So
Correct.
there are authors like that, but I mentioned these 3 in the beginning because that was very influential for me.
To you as a person.
As a
Correct.
person, So that's why, and it's something that's very common. Everyone would read. That's why.
Do you have any one book that changed your entire life? Because I do.
Tinkle. I'm joking.
That's a good start.
I gotta ask you one question. Shakespeare, is the hype valid or not? The hype for Shakespeare.
It
is
is. See, speaking, I'm an ICSE student who had to do Merchant of Venice for 3 years, and then
Same.
I got really into it, and I started reading full on Shakespeare.
Tempest, Macbeth.
Everything. No, not just the school scriptures. I went and bought Shakespeare books. So as a Shakespearean fan, its hype is very
is
valid.
valid.
It's
very
real.
valid.
Think about when it was written,
Exactly.
and think about how much depth he is able to create.
Sir, and the thing with his writing is that, are my eyes being very weird because I talk like this when I talk about
Even this,
Shakespeare?
I'm
No,
scared she's gonna.
no, sir. But the thing about Shakespeare is, right, you read one line and then you sort of sit and you stare at that line and you delayer it like an orange. There comes. I'm sorry, I'm really into
I
this.
saw this one meme. It's like English teachers when in the beginning of the book they read the first and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Dude.
Oh.
I'm very into this. I'm sorry because the amount of layers you can find in that one line, like from this view, from this view, from this view. That's the fun about reading.
My Merchant of Venice book, between the lines I've written so much, I've broken it down into all the meanings behind it. It's
Have you
completely
ever
filled.
thought about this, like whether the author actually meant all this stuff?
So that's the thing. No, it's so abstract. That's the
It's
fun
very
about
abstract.
it. It's like,
So it's always, the meaning is always created by the reader, right? So
Reader,
they
yeah.
write something. Maybe they would have thought something else. But the beauty of literature is that when I read, my surroundings, my history changes the meaning that I derive. Yours change will. That is the beauty of literature. That is something I love about literature.
so do you read self-help books?
Not much.
I think I would recommend everyone watching this right now 2 books. The first one is called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I knew it. I was about to
heard
say
that
Rich
name,
Dad
I
Poor Dad.
never-
It's Miyazaki. I don't remember the author's name, but it's a really nice book. It changed on how you look at, like, it changed for me how I look at stuff. And the second one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's by Mark Manson.
Yeah.
It's a book. It's really nice.
Such
So
a bad word.
no, usually self-help books are associated with boring and stuff, right? But this one offers like a nice perspective to you. It feels like the author is talking to you. And like, it's not boring, guys. You guys should try. I'm not weird for liking self-help
Maybe
books.
if I try, I'd like it, but I'm very conservative in this
Reading part,
part,
yeah.
where I feel like, okay, I'll open, because it's a commitment, right?
Yeah.
You open a book, you start reading, you feel like, okay, you are committed to
it, yeah.
So I'm very much hesitant to start reading something.
Correct.
If I'm that
That's
much
me with
into
my-
it, then I'll start reading.
Me with all my engineering books, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Open commitment, too much.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I
No,
have
the
one
idea of
great
I want
question.
to read it and I have to read it is very different.
Yeah.
We know, sir, engineering students, we know.
Everyone, literature students also, like you say that, okay, you are a literature student, you will be reading a lot. The problem there is we are forced to read a lot of things.
Correct, sir.
There is a big difference when somebody say that this is the syllabus, read it. Or it's very different when I get a book, oh, I want to read this.
Isn't it unfair that just because it's popular doesn't mean it has to be good,
Great,
and
yeah.
just because it's good sometimes it's not
Popular at all.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Everything is like that. Right? Like, you take
So how
something.
have you so accepted it, sir? Like, you're just like, yeah.
No, that you will also learn it, I guess, at some point.
It comes
but
with maturity. It comes with time.
It is
Yeah.
like that. You take anything. You might feel that, okay, this is we use the word underrated a lot
Yeah.
because of that. You feel like, oh, this should have got that kind of popularity. It didn't. Like the trend, the idea of trend itself is because of that, right?
Yeah.
You see something, one very random stupid video getting millions of views. Somebody who have put their life into something might not be getting.
Please watch, give
Yes,
views.
Yeah.
please subscribe to the channel.
Oh, man.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
So that
Yeah.
is there. Right?
one candid question.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is for us. What were your impressions of us in class? Did we strike as like rememberful students? Like you
Of
could
course
remember
I did.
us?
Rememberful is the word.
I'm so sorry in front of an English sir. I'm
No,
fumbling.
that's okay.
No, like
I
did
don't.
we
Is it
strike?
a word? No, I don't.
No, it's not a word. So definitely
Okay.
not a word.
No. Yeah.
Of course, that's how I started, right? Because your class was really good. You guys were really good. I enjoyed coming to your class and being a teacher there, teaching you stuff.
Yeah, sir.
Maybe the stuff I taught was not that good, but
Yeah.
the rest of the things I loved.
True.
It
Also,
was a really good class. I'm not making it up for the video.
Sir, say we were good, sir, not
You
the
guys
class.
were good. You were good.
Hey, we were the class.
I remember that the first essay you wrote about
Lucid dreaming.
yes.
Oh.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was good.
Yeah, cinephile and you're into literature. So, books or movies, the argument. Which one wins? Books over movies? Movies over
Trick
books?
Trick question.
It's no. The question is it just about books or movies or books that are made into?
That's what I'm asking. Books that are made into movies.
Oh, that's
Or
always
would you
the book.
prefer
Always
books?
the books.
That's always the book.
Always the books?
Most
Because
whatever I
books
watched
leave
till
a
now,
lot
it is
to your imagination.
See.
But there's a lot of work that goes into bringing that
it's very
world of
difficult
imagination into
to,
reality.
For example,
do justice to the writing.
Writing.
but like Game of Thrones, sir. For example,
What happened? In
Game of Thrones, the book, it's done very close justice to the book. So you
and
can't.
what happened in the end? No, the difference is if they had made it into a movie,
Uh-huh.
it would be entirely different. They wouldn't be able to do it.
Okay, okay.
They
Because that-
made it into a series.
Okay.
Like when I watch a lot of movies or TV series, movies especially, I feel that why do you make it into a movie? Why
Condensed
didn't you
form.
try making it into a TV series? Because that's a new genre that's becoming popular, and the money is there. You can actually do that.
Yes, sir.
I watched Ponniyin Selvan, Tamil movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had the same feeling. If you had made this into a TV series, you'd be able to do justice to the book.
Correct, sir. Yeah.
Right, so that is there. So it's not just about books or movies. It's about how you do it,
It's done.
like how much time do you get to
Okay.
do justice.
Do
Depends
justice
on
to
the
it.
book and depends on the
Correct.
movie.
And also it doesn't actually happen the other way around. So movies
The
doesn't.
movie has never been
I
better
don't
than the
think
book.
so.
No, movies
Don't get made like
Yeah, that's
into
what
a book.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
it's always the book that is the
Yeah.
source.
Yeah.
So
Correct,
the source
So I,
tend to be
that
better.
itself
in
is
most-
enough to win the argument.
Uh-huh.
I guess.
True. So yeah, we've talked about a lot now today.
Sir, also I noticed your bike is really cool, sir.
Oh yeah!
Very cool.
Oh, how could I forget?
Very cool.
So you're a bike guy?
Yes, out and out bike.
Yeah.
I love bikes.
What's your favorite? If you had all the money in the world,
What's your dream bike?
dream.
I never thought if I'll have all the money in the world, so that is. But I love a lot of bikes. If you want me to pick something, it would be S1000 RR.
Oh, BMW.
That would be
Valid.
something
Good choice, sir.
The new one or the classic one with the
The-
asymmetric lights, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful. Yeah, they ruined it with the new headlights. The old one, one's
yeah,
round,
I know,
one
I
is
know
like
what you're talking
triangle.
Even
about.
Panigale V4, I love those
Oh.
things. But these are all dreams, right?
Yeah.
Sir is like getting us down there.
One day.
One day, maybe, yes.
Hopefully.
So, one more question. Would you advise people to dream big or to just dream with how much ever they know is achievable to not get your expectations hurt?
Dream big.
Dream
Try-
big?
yeah, of
But
course.
then, realistically, right, if you don't get it, one gets disheartened.
No,
So-
see, the problem with this idea of dreaming is if you try to dream with limited resources, like what you said, what if that also doesn't happen? You'll be disappointed, right? So this you never know what's going to happen.
Next. Okay.
So why restrict yourself like that? Like try to achieve it, right? When you have a dream, you'll be doing something at least to reach there.
Okay. Correct. Okay. You'll
If
be
you,
emotional.
if you think that this is the this is where I want to reach, or you'll try to reach your max, right? So why just go for it?
just go all out. Okay.
Don't
No,
take it
because-
too seriously. Just
Don't take it too seriously. So, what's like the advice you'd give like students?
Yeah.
Like personally, sir, both of us, we also want to do something apart from our academics. But like with engineering, of course, time is a struggle. Constraints are a struggle, and we don't really have clarity on what we want to do exactly. So, knowing if we look at you, you're already doing something. Like
Okay.
you've
but these
been through that
degrees
waves.
doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. So, but like, what advice
You
would
don't
you
think
give
it
us?
does?
Sir?
You don't think it does at all?
It doesn't matter if you want to do a lot of other things.
Okay.
If your idea, or if you are very clear about being an engineer or any other profession you want, and if you are learning for that particular thing, yes, those degrees matter. But if your idea is that okay, I'm doing this degree now, but
But
there
you're
are
still-
multiple
yeah.
things I want to
You're
explore.
still finding yourself.
Always do that. Don't hesitate to
Okay.
explore, because as the years pass by, it's very difficult to make that choice.
You get tied up with responsibilities.
A
and
lot of
So,
responsibilities. So,
people in their 20s need to go out, find what they're good at.
exactly, and I think we have evolved to that point. The society has evolved to a point where it is okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's starting to look okay.
The perspective is opening up to the older generation, sir.
yes. So
Nice.
that is, if you have something in your mind, do not hesitate. Just
Yeah. Just go for it.
that's. Otherwise, anyway, it will be a regret, right?
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
One more question. You've reached this point now in your career and your life. So if you could do things again, but in a different way,
Would
how
you
would you
change
do it?
something?
Would you take different steps, different approaches?
In academics, in my
Life as a
Everything.
whole, sir.
How? Yeah.
life as a whole. Okay, there
Really?
are many things I didn't explore, I guess. So,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
yeah, that part I might change.
Yeah, because Nadia said in your 20s you have to
Yeah.
go out and go into the world.
I didn't, because I found out what my interests are like about this traveling, all those stuff very late.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because I didn't get that opportunity. I was not the exposure, we say exposure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never had that until a point. After that, when I got it, I realized, oh, these things, I love these things. But at the you know,
didn't find it at the right time.
right time.
So this is why we're entirely doing this podcast, sir, because a lot of people, just like you, will have so many experiences and things that they'd like to tell. And for us, especially, when we listen to real life inputs rather than reading a reel, watching a reel or reading a book, a person sitting in front of you when you know the person and he's giving you real life inputs, it makes you realize, okay, maybe this has some logic. We actually have to do this. And that's the whole reason we started this podcast.
And when he came and talked to me about this for the first time, after you left, I was talking to my friends, like, my colleagues and all, and I said, see, that is a good initiative, because I know you guys. So I know you guys, like, it's not just about the books or something. Like, when you go to a class and teach them, you understand their vibe, right? So so I felt like, okay, that is actually a good initiative. That's why I think in the beginning I asked, why do you start doing this? I wanted to hear it from you.
Yeah.
Like, what was your answer?
Was the answer satisfactory?
It was really satisfying.
Also, I think after this episode, after this shoot, I've realized I'm seeing Sir in a more human light.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing. We're seeing,
yeah.
Thank
seeing
you
you in
for
a...
We
seeing
thought-
me as a human.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you very
not
much.
like I thought he was like perfect. Like he's done everything.
Yeah.
Like there's no mistake he's made.
Yeah. We
and
tend
stuff
to
like
think that,
Yeah.
no, sir, every time
Like, about
someone
all
walks
teachers,
in,
everyone who's like, in a profession is doing something. If they're doing something,
Let me ask you something. So, do you see them as this perfect figure in the beginning of the semester or to end of the semester also?
all the time.
At
All
the
the
entire
time you
time,
see
like-
that
All
they
the
are
time.
perfect.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they have their shit together. Like
See,
yeah,
like when we interact with them, for them it's just a job.
Okay.
For us, it's like someone else is walking in entirely and they know everything.
Yeah.
They have in our minds, we think
It's
that
like-
they have no family problems, they have no problems,
Like-
they have a money, they have
yeah,
job
it's
coming
like
in.
whatever
teaching.
we have done, they've done it. They've probably done it like twice. or
Twice,
thrice.
yeah. So it's like you're already there. So
Okay.
why bother?
No, this money part, everything that you just mentioned, I don't think there's any faculty who's that sought out in their life. So I think they just keep that baggage in the staff room
Yeah.
and then go to class.
That's actually one more super appreciative thing about teachers.
Yeah. So for sports people, it's the locker room talks, right? For faculty, is it
Sir,
like
is
the
there,
staff room
sir,
talk?
do teachers collectively not hate, like
Like,
be
is there-
negative towards a
is-
single student
is-
and gossip?
yeah.
Is there some juicy gossip? Like, is it?
I hope not, but because I do not get to experience that, because if I go to a class, none of my friends or the other faculties go to that same class.
Or have you heard them collectively talking about one student or like some juicy gossip?
No, not much, but there will be a lot of gossip. See, the staff room, right? Staff room is, it might be we can call that as hub of gossip. Like, people gossip.
Oh.
People talk a lot.
Huh.
It's not that different. Your classrooms are also like that, right?
Yeah.
It's not much different from that.
So, spicy question.
Okay.
Are there teacher politics?
Obvious, right?
Very,
Oh,
like, it's
very
very
much.
prevalent.
Yeah.
Even now?
Come on.
With young
What do you mean
faculty?
even?
Oh, it's getting juicy, bro.
So, I thought only the not so young
Politics
faculties
is
would
there
do.
everywhere, right? Because politics connects to this idea of power. So for students, the amount of power you can attain might be very limited. But again, when you go to a profession, it slowly starts increasing. So we are again in the bottom of the food chain, right? An assistant professor, you call that. There is someone called a chancellor there. So there is a big gap between them.
Man.
So the politics will be, more, what do you call, bad? I don't know the exact word, but it
More harsh,
keeps,
yeah.
It keeps
as we
going.
climb up the ladder.
Survival of the fittest.
Exactly
Ah.
that happens in every department, everything. You see that everyone is there for themselves.
Way of life.
It's like if the teacher's room was a classroom, sir would be a backbencher. For sure.
I would be, I guess.
Yeah.
Because in most of the meetings I go out, do that, I stay in the last, some of us, and they'll be like, come forward, you sit here. We're happy, we don't want to get involved in any of those stuff that's happening there.
So you don't take it that deeply, all this stuff over there. You're just doing your job.
I just leave it there, and here completely different life.
So one life advice for people in their 20s, people our age.
Please,
I'm not 28.
you guys are not 20 yet.
We're almost there, so 2-3 months far away.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I think I'm very bad at giving advices, but just, you guys said this, right, whether it is good to explore or not. So
Okay.
that would be my explanation. Please do explore. Please try different avenues, find different interests, do your stuff. Don't think whether it will be successful or not, doesn't matter, because at one point you'll reach a point where everything falls into place in the end if you are working hard anyway. So just do your stuff, and don't keep that regret in the, okay, I might be successful, or I should have done that. That
Correct.
shouldn't be there. That's it. I don't know, I'm very bad at giving
No,
advice.
Oh,
This is
so
pretty
this
good.
was good. This was great.
Oh, Sir was not confident about this episode at all.
Yeah,
Because he
man.
said
No,
see, I met him twice, texted him a few times
Yeah.
about this episode. He kept saying, if it's boring, delete it. Just delete it.
Because see, I for a moment, at least for some time, I felt like anyway I'm going and teaching them for like 3 times a week. I don't want this to become a 4th lecture.
Oh.
So
That's
on behalf of everyone, it wasn't boring.
So
I'm sure
boring,
everyone
yeah.
watching this will also agree. Tell us in the comments. Show sir some love. Deserves it.
Also, we had some Q&A, no? Y'all are weird as hell, bro. Y'all are weird as hell. We are not answering it. No.
We put a poll thing
Okay.
on our Instagram handle. So we asked our audience to ask us questions.
You should answer it, right?
Yeah,
You
I'll
can
answer. I'll answer one. It
What
was
was
my
the question?
favorite question. I'm pretty sure it was directed to me. It's like, what do you find annoying about your co-host?
But please do answer.
Would you like to take this?
I feel like if I open my mouth, sir, after this shoot, there's going to be a big fight and he's going to cry in a corner.
I don't cry. I don't cry.
Yeah,
I don't cry.
so that happened. Oh my god, we're gonna edit that out.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
insanely cringe. Yeah, so I think we've talked about a lot of things. We had great conversations, sir, great inputs from you. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, I feel
It was
like
fun. I was very much.
oh, sir, we forgot the main question. How did you feel being asked to come as a guest on our podcast?
Oh yeah, we asked this.
I was very hesitant. Like when I responded to him, I said yes in the beginning itself, but because I felt it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But I was very hesitant. What am I going to talk?
You talked a lot of.
Yeah,
you
because
talked
again,
very well
this,
though. Yeah.
like it would be like giving a lecture session to two youngsters. That would sound very bad,
No,
right?
sir, it wasn't.
So
It's
that's
not a
why I
lecture.
was hesitant. Other than that, I said yes instantly, because I felt okay, this is a good initiative, it would be nice.
yes, sir. Yeah.
So I
no, sir,
wanted
you did
to-
great. Don't worry about it. It was
Thank
good.
you.
And I hope we didn't bore you off with
No,
our
no,
questions.
it was
and
very
went
interesting,
well.
It was perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll end this episode by this. So guys, make sure to
To like, subscribe,
Let's sir do it,
Yeah.
sir. Promote
Yes,
us.
please
Promote us.
do like, subscribe, and
push the bell icon.
the bell
press the
icon.
bell icon. Right? Forgot that. Yeah.
So yeah, episode 3. That's a wrap.
That's a
This
wrap.
is good.
We will see you guys soon. Stay tuned for the next episodes. Bye bye.
Bye.